Word of warning, if you've come to this video expecting to see a professional wood turner, you've come to the wrong video. But if you want to see an amateur using the cheapest lathe on the planet, you've come to the right video. As the first video proved, it's very controversial. This Parkside lathe, massively mixed opinions. Hello sheddies, and you join me again in my shed. Sorry for the delay in videos, I've been out the country with work, but I'm back again in my shed, my happy place. Excuse the lawnmower, or is it a lawnmower? Someone's using a strimmer outside at the minute. And I've got to use one of my tools that I bought probably 4 or 5 weeks ago, probably a little bit longer. I did a video on it, my Parkside cheapo lathe. Now, there's a lot of turners out there that sort of cringe when they watch the videos, I'm sure. But there's also a lot of beginners that are thinking of going into turning and following me along with my little, I don't want to say it, but journey. Mixed reactions, but it's all good. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but this is probably the cheapest lathe on the planet. On day one, I made, when I did the unboxing and everything else, that, which is from an old fence post. I turned it down, really enjoyed doing it. I call it the Leaning Tower of Pisa on top of a mountaintop. I hope it's not leaning anyway. I'm pretty sure it's pretty straight. But anyway, so yeah, I just played around with this. So I've not used it since I did that video, but now I've got some wood that I've salvaged from another project I did, and I want to make, well, I won't tell you, I'm gonna, because I don't know yet. It might turn into something completely different. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Day 2 of using the cheapest lathe on the planet versus amateur, me. So for anyone that didn't see the video, I'll put it in the description below, a link to it. But it's a Parkside PDM 600C3 from Parkside, from the Lidl middle aisle. I love my Parkside stuff. There it is, quick unboxing. It's plastic and it's cheap and it's cheerful. I've not touched the chisels since the last time I used it. A lot of people suggested sharpening them or buy new ones, carbide ones. There's the block of wood I used, a bit of an offcut from fence post. I put it into the lathe. And as I said, I enjoyed doing the first turn on this lathe, but I did have a few issues on the way, shall we say. I did do a bit of studying, but probably not enough, so thanks for all the comments. I can see why this is going to break. Right. But I think it's important to show all my mistakes that I made along the way. Why is that so sharp? And after a bit, I got used to it and I started getting into it a little bit better. It'd have been easy to chop the corners off that block first with my bandsaw, but this new piece of wood, or the new piece of wood I'm going to do on day 2 of turning, it's already rounded. I'll show you what I mean next. You also may have seen a video I did where I made a honey jar rack so that I can put all my screws and nuts and bolts in my shed, and I got all these plugs out. Waste not, want not. So there it is, all drilled out. Amazed how light it is. Well, I'm amazed. I've took half the wood out of it. All these plugs, all these wheels, whatever you want to call them, circular bits, I've got an idea for them. So there's the rack I made, putting all my jars away. I've got to fill them up yet still. I've also got to take all the labels off. But anyway, less waffle, let's get back to turning. So here's all the plugs I took out of the CLS timber. I think there was around 24 of them in total. So I thought I'd make some candlestick holders. Well, that's the plan anyway. Now, what I've done, I've turned them alternate ways. So one was from one side of the wood, one's from the other, rotated them. I should have turned them sort of like clockwise and anti-clockwise as well, really, to like a variation of grain. It's randomised anyway, because they're all in a pile. So I glued them up, clamped them up, let them to set, got them as straight as I could do, smeared off the residue of glue. I did 3 just in case. I'm bound to make a mistake. I always thought, shall I buy one? But for £2.99, is it too much? Comments below. And thanks to another Parkside fanboy, Roger at the Garage Workshop, for telling us that the t-shirts have come back in stock. I'm pretty sure he's got more Parkside tools than me as well. These are the blanks I made. There's 6 in each. I made 3 of them. I did 3 because who knows, one might just, I don't know, might explode. I don't need to get a centre point because there's already a hole in them when I was cutting them out. And thanks very much for all the comments that everyone made. There's a lot of professional turners out there. There's some beginners. I know some of you have bought one of these already before I did the video and they hadn't used it yet. Anyway, let's get this on the lathe. Right, so here they all are, all three of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my bangles off and my ring and my watch. I didn't take my ring off last time. I'm glad I did this time. And put my mask helmet on. So I'm just adjusting the tailstock to put the blank in there, tying up the nut, and then get the spanner on there to tighten it up tight. You may have seen in my other video that the tool rest is loose in the housing. It moves around, moves, and it sort of turns, and it got jammed, as you see earlier in the video, because the thread, the thumb screw that tightens it up isn't that strong. So I'm going to have to modify that, and I think I'm going to modify the tool rest as well to make it more rigid. I've heard stories where they break. So I'm turning it down with the curved chisel. I think that's the right term, can't remember. Just to get it as straight as possible. So I'm moving the tool rest along as I go, from the middle to the end and then the other end. And as I said previously, that some of the comments in the last video I did on this lathe were fantastic. Some real professional turners out there that are giving their opinions on best tips and advice. And if you want to go back and have a read through them, it's certainly a wise idea. I've forgotten half of the things that people have said, actually, but I think I've got the basics right. One thing I forgot to do is you tilt the chisel downwards on the handle and then lift it slightly so the chisel makes contact with the wood gradually, which I did sort of later on in the video. Sorry, I'm turning it down now. I'm just making some sort of shape. Don't know what I'm going to do, what shape I'm doing here. I'm just playing it, just having fun, really. But if you noticed how rough the grain is on that. Now, I realise at this point these blades are proper blunt. But I thought I'll do both candlesticks anyway with these blunt chisels. And then I definitely need to sharpen them. I think it's good to see what happens when you don't have sharp chisels as well. And in fact, I may buy some carbide chisels. So as you can see now, I'm sort of shaping it, and I've got an idea to replicate this on the next candlestick holder. So here what I'm doing is making like a shoulder. You can see there I'm using the straight edge chisel. That's really satisfying using that. Shaping it a little bit. And then I'm sort of getting to the point now where I think, yeah, I'm about happy, but you see how rough it is, look. And I think it's a combination of poor wood. I mean, this is construction wood at the end of the day. CLS stuff. And the fact that the chisels are poor as well. So, yeah, getting some sandpaper on there. I think that was 80 grit. Just trying to get it smooth.
Still a bit rough. Getting better.
Yeah, I'm going to do another video on this lathe once I get some better chisels or even sharpen these ones. And then adjust that tool rest so it doesn't move around or drop down. Right, here I'm just taking some of the sawdust and rubbing it against the piece just to shine it up. I probably should turn the speed down a little bit more. Got some shellac. Use the tissue, just smear that on.
And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, really helps me out.
Then I use the flat edge chisel just to straighten the ends up. And the middle part, I'll just sand down afterwards. So just get the spanner to undo the nut, release, and there it is. So I just want to sand those ends down that I couldn't reach. Yeah, you can see there's a few rough bits in there. I'm not concerned. It's my first two pieces, so I know it's not the best wood, and the chisels need sharpening. So yeah, give it a quick sand down, and then on to the next piece. Now you can see here how the spines on the spindle dig into the wood. Tighten that up. And I use my calipers just to work out what the size, what the diameter were on each part of it. So what I'm doing now is just straightening down, but then also just to measure the gaps. So I'm measuring up where each piece is on the original piece and then transferring it with a pencil to the new blank. It gives me a rough idea, and as you can see, I've got the other piece in the background there. So pretty much the same principle, except I've got some lines to work to. I'm not just running with it this time, I've got to sort of make it exactly the same as the other piece. So sandpaper on there again. Handfuls of sawdust, then onto the shellac, then over to the drill press because I wanted to put a hole in the top of each of them to fit a candle in the top. So there we go, all complete. I'm just putting the candles in the top, and it's worth just putting the holes slightly smaller than the candle so you can screw the candles in. These are going to be for decorative purposes in the house. We probably might whitewash them or stain them, don't know yet. This is my first project, and I'm happy with them. My new t-shirt! That was day 2 of using my Parkside wood lathe, and apart from the chisels and the tool rest, overall it's a good little thing. I mean, for the price, it was $69.99 when I bought it. I know they've come down in price again, actually, if you're looking in Lidl. Do please read the instructions. Do take care if you're doing something like this. I've tried to take as many precautions as possible. I've probably made a million mistakes. Well, at least it didn't explode. As usual, and I'm sure everyone will point out the mistakes I made. But what I want to do in day 3 is go through all the comments, all your tips and recommendations, and take heed and sort of get myself in a position where I can turn something confidently and accurately. But I'm still practicing. This is my second go at it. And whoever said you can't teach an old dog new tricks? It is so satisfying. It's such a brilliant hobby to have, though. I just ain't got much time to do it, unfortunately. But people do say once you get into turning, you want to go to the next machine or the next tool or the next chisels and the next project and push yourself every time. Well, I'm still at the starting blocks, really. If you are a beginner, do your own research first. Do your own checks. Just be safe. If you get anything from this, that's brilliant. I forgot to mention, I'm going to get an extractor set up for next time as well. All this dust. Another blank left. What can I do with that? I've got some new tools I want to show you as well, but I ain't even unboxed them yet. So that's about it. Quick video. If you're new here, subscribe. I've got loads more videos on my channel. And if you give me a thumbs up, that's great. And of course, leave your comments below. So till next time, stay safe. And remember, keep calm and head to the shed. Cheers. See you next time on Weekend Shedhead.